This is a quilt I'm working on at the moment, and I'm using line pattern almost exclusively to do all the quilting. So I thought I'd show how I set up one whole pass using line pattern. This is the quilting I'm doing. There's one motif, which is this spirally thing, and all the rest is line pattern. So I'll show you how to do that. So I've already advanced my quilt, I've realigned, I'm ready to add the pattern. So add edit pattern, add pattern, line pattern. Now to begin with, it's just going to be straight lines. So I don't need to choose a pattern because it automatically does a straight line when you first start out. So I'm moving my machine over to the first point where I'm going to start. I'm marking the point, coming down the seam line, I'm going up this seam line. This will be in the ditch, I hope. This quilt is not perfectly pieced and there are lumps and bumps and gathers and things like that, so I'm doing the best I can. Okay, so now at this point I want to do some continuous curve. So I'm not going to touch finished or anything, I'm just going to change the pattern. So I'm touching pattern, and I moved the patterns that I'm using for this quilt into their own catalogue, which I've named number 1, so it's at the top of my list, so it's quick and easy for me to find the patterns I want. And I want the arc now. Continue. And I want the arc to be 0.75 of an inch. Okay. Okay, so now I'm ready to come down, and you'll see the arc appearing. Okay. Here's my continuous curve. Okay, now I'm at the end of that bit of continuous curve, so I need to change it back to a straight line. So I'm not touching finished or anything, just pattern. Here's my straight line. Continue. And now I'm going to run along this bit of the seam line. Now I'm going up here. Now I've marked little chalky reference points so that I know where I'm aiming. Now I've got to fill in this little gap here, so I'm going to go back to there, back this way, so that will double stitch. Now I'm coming up here. If I think the line is curving or wobbling a bit, I touch another point. Now here her piecing is wonderful, I have to juggle across to the next seam, so this is creative piecing, I think. Okay, now I'm at a point where I want to do some more continuous curve, so not touching finished, I'm just touching pattern, touching my arc, continue. Now I'm going to come down. Okay, I'm finished with the continuous curve. Now I need to go back to the straight line, so I'm touching pattern. Here's the straight line. Continue. Here comes a straight line down here. I kind of worked out the path I was going to take before I started doing this, so by just running my finger over the quilt to see the best way to do this so it will be continuous across the whole quilt. Now sometimes we say lower the needle so you get your points marked exactly in the seam line of where you want them. On this quilt there are big hefty intersections where a lot of seams come together, and if I lower my needle it lowers my hopping foot and they run into the lumps and bumps, so I'm just doing the best I can, eyeballing. Now I'm back to a place where I want to do more continuous curve. And it's so easy to switch patterns when you move the ones you want into a catalogue that appears at the top of the list. Okay, that's given you an idea of the path I'm taking. I'll continue across the whole quilt, and then it will just stitch out as one continuous line. So quick and easy. So that's a good way to use line pattern.